Fuese took a few days off just to protect the last victim. Wherever he went, the detective secretly went there. Even when going to a public restroom, the addict felt someone is following him. He kept looking back and forth. When he went to the bathroom, he appeared more afraid and cautious than when he steals. The bathroom door slammed shut. Fuese hid on a treetop, silently observing. As soon as the sky got dark, the victim left his hiding place and stalked a house with the lights turned off on a deserted street. When he got close, a figure rushed down from above, one hand controlling him, the other hand covering his mouth, quickly grabbing the addicted thief's neck. It all happened in a few seconds. The victim only protested weakly and then surrendered. Fuese threw the spirit bullet at the perpetrator. He carried his prey in his arms, quickly dodged the attack and fled into the darkness. The spirit bullet immediately caught up. The east of Tokyo lit up in an instant. Countless sharp swords attacked simultaneously, causing the perpetrator to drop his prey. Hiroshi picked up the dead man and put him on the ground and quickly came to support his teammates. Fuese hurriedly went to check the body and extracted a number of useful memories for the investigation process. Cornered, the perpetrator quickly threw a water solution mixed with blood at Higo's group. A giant creature born from filth stretched out 5 fingers to attack the group of former detectives of the dead. Higa and Hiroshi split into 2 directions to escape. The sky suddenly darkened, thunder rumbled and rain poured down. Energized by the rain, the water monster accelerated, continuously pressing on the 2 former detectives. Higa threw spirit bullets at the opponent. The water monster fell down then quickly stood up and was stronger than before. The 2 former detectives continued to flee. From behind, a black fireball rushed forward. From the intersection near where they fought, Tateyama shouted, "You guys bend down." Higa and Hiroshi had just moved in 2 sides when a light sword rushed out into the rain. The fireball and sword spirit both penetrated the monster's body. It roared and dissolved into steam. Before Tateyama could celebrate, he was caught in the remnants of the demon world's fire. Thunder and lightning lit up the path where the former detectives reunited, helping them clearly see Tateyama, completely black from head to toe, blinking in bewilderment because he didn't understand what was going on. "Who sneaked up on me?" Tateyama screamed in pain. Being warmed by the demon world's fire is an honor. Dango quipped, "I'm going to strip you now. This is my last outfit this week. It's so dirty now, what will I get for school tomorrow? Stop being angry. Come to my house, I still have a lot of clothes." Hiroshi intervened and tried not to laugh. "It is undesired." Dango mumbled, "You guys let the killer escape like that." As soon as Dango finished speaking, a cold wind carrying a characteristic stench rushed in. Tateyama covered his nose and vomited as if he were having morning sickness. Hiroshi pointed towards the side where the wind came from and smiled shyly, "He's there." As soon as they arrived, a figure wearing a green kimono quickly hid into the darkness. In the deserted alley, only Fuese and the perpetrator remained. The detective brings the villain back to the death world. The warrant for the rat's arrest has been removed. However, Ayame restaurant is still closed. Silence enveloped those who were there. Hiroshi looked up at the paintings of the red leaf forest hanging in the restaurant's lobby and said, "The killer said he had a confrontation with Kaoru. After sucking her blood to steal her immortality and abilities, he was also infected by the poison. That's why he killed so many people. The fact that he only killed people around this restaurant area was to blame that rat." Seeing the fox nod, Dango commented, "Raffish. I wonder where she is now. She's poisoned, injured like that and no one is taking care of her. How can she bear it? It's also possible that that rat has gone home. Those who don't belong to this world, even if they die, will still be reincarnated in their world. Don't waste your time worrying. But does everything come to us? We no longer work for Dead World." Tateyama lazily straightened his white shirt and mumbled. The first time he wore a teammate's shirt, he still couldn't adapt to things that didn't belong to him. "Actually, Lord Pluto has found a new detective to replace you guys. You also met her while hunting for the culprit." Akiko stood in the kitchen and called out. "That girl is clumsy," Higa commented bluntly. "She just accepted her job. You have to sympathize. Akiko brought a plate of French fries and 4 bowls of hot noodles to the table. Higa rubbed his hands together, excitedly pulling a bowl of noodles towards him. After an hour of fighting in the rain, a bowl of hot noodles is a reward of greater value than any other reward. The others also started to enjoy their dinner, except for Dango. The fire demon sat still on the window, looking at his reflection on the transparent glass. It's delicious, Tateyama exclaimed after drinking all the noodle soup. He looked at Dango, teasingly. If someone doesn't eat, I'll eat it all. Dango, come here and eat with us. The fox invited. If anyone likes it, eat it. Dango glanced and silently turned to the other side. At the end of the meeting, Dango went to the fox's private room and enjoyed fried potatoes and ramen made by the fox himself with an extremely rude and unpleasant attitude. Dango, how? Hiroshi put his hand on his cheek, looking at his teammates as if he saw something extremely scary happening right before his eyes. Not bad, Dango answered after downing a bowl of noodles that were red with chili powder. The fire demon asked, handing the empty bottle of chili powder to Hiroshi. Another jar. You've eaten 3 jars. You're not planning on spitting fire on me that night, are you? Looking at his teammate's pale face covered in cold sweat, Dango replied without any respect, who would have the heart to burn you with human world fire? Having just remembered something, Hiroshi hurried to the balcony and quickly looked at the scene in the city. As expected, in the suburban forest there was a small column of smoke rising. The smell of smoke mixed with the smell of poison wafting in the wind. Dango stood next to him, used his evil eye to observe the direction the demon fox was looking at and realized Kaoru was there. The demon rat sat next to a small fire, using a little heat to control the toxicity of the demon world poison. She's quite good. You have met a serious opponent. I have to go there and convince her. That method is only temporary and accidentally makes the poison spread faster in the blood. Hiroshi rushed to the outskirts and was dumbfounded when he saw that the fire had gone out. Kaoru just left, definitely not coming back to this place. Once again, narrowly losing track of the demon rat, the fox could only follow the scent of poison and then get lost in the vast maze of forests. A drop of blood accidentally soaked the demon fox's shoulder. A few of drops fell after another and finally Kaoru's entire body fell from her hiding place like a falling fruit. No longer able to cope with the toxin, the rat fell into a deep coma and her forehead was hot. However, what made the fox demon's heart ache was that Kaoru kept calling Shin's name, begging him to return to a Yame restaurant. The demon fox took the demon rat back to the restaurant and began preparing an antidote. The sound of the demon rat's labored breathing caused the demon fox to delay its work. The demon rat woke up. She held her head, trying to regulate her breathing but didn't feel any better. The blue and white patches keep growing and intertwining with each other, overwhelming everything in the room. The world kept spinning even though Kaoru closed her eyes tightly. As soon as the demon fox approached, before his fingers could even touch the body of the demon rat, he was cruelly rejected. Kaoru glanced at Hiroshi and threatened with the eyes of a predator about to lose its mind. The demon fox lifted his sleeve, made a cut, and held out his bleeding wrist towards Kaoru. Drink it, you'll feel better. Kaoru still hesitated, trying to ignore the delicious food that had reached her mouth. You can't die before I die. Hiroshi tried to convince. As if remembering her main purpose, Kaoru reluctantly drank that strange medicine. The fox sighed and stood still while the mouse enjoyed its delicious meal. Kaoru's health quickly improved after receiving some fresh blood. Her face became less pale and her body temperature gradually stabilized. She still sat still on the bed, watching the demon fox diligently prepare the antidote for a while, then said, "You can go home now. No need to waste your time with me. I will leave when you really recover. That little bit of blood is only a temporary solution. You lost all my demonic power in the battle with the blood-sucking python. Let you alone at this time is like allowing you to die again." The fox gave the newly prepared medicine bottle to Kaoru and supervised the entire process of the mouse drinking the medicine. The rat quickly fell asleep and then woke up when he felt something strange on his body. The bloody clothes had been washed and lay on the clothesline. The demon fox lay next to Kaoru, sleeping soundly as if he were the one who had been poisoned and rested. Her sharp eyes filled with murderous intent just glanced at him and woke up the sleeping person. As soon as the thick black eyelashes opened, they revealed infinite tenderness. The fox demon smiled shyly and explained, "I was a little tired, so I took a nap." "It's not that. It's true that I help you change clothes, but I don't touch sensitive places. Besides, if we did something wrong, we'd both have to wake up in a state of undress, right?" For the first time in his life, receiving a slap as a thank you, the demon fox just smiled crookedly, secretly happy because Kauru's demon power was recovering very quickly. That smile made the rat even more angry. Bedding, lipstick, and makeup tools were all thrown in one direction. Hiroshi could only avoid it and laugh. When the opponent is a weak rat, the only way to deal with it is to indulge in childish revenge and play with her. Competing in the ring as a tough king, fighting Kaoru is like a kitten learning to scratch the ground. Higa stood across the street, peering through the magic net, commenting and leaning on his hips, smiling mysteriously. "Dango, when you were with Konami, did you change like that?" A meaningless joke. The fox called home, making excuses that he would stay at his friend's house for a few days because it was close to work. After a period of cutting down on working hours due to murder cases, the backlog of work was so much that the fox had to bring documents to a Yame restaurant and stay up all night to process them. When he woke up after a few minutes of falling asleep, his hair had changed into a different hairstyle. Sometimes it's a round bun, sometimes it's tied high, then it's a braid, and finally it's the bride's bun, with flowers and a floor-length veil. The demon fox looked at the reflection in the mirror and then looked at the perpetrator pretending to sleep with her back to him with wary eyes. Could it be that Kaoru intentionally crossed the dimensional path to come here just to turn him into a beautiful girl? The fox demon looked at the strange design that Kaoru had just made for him and wondered. Early in the morning, the demon fox appeared, causing a stir among all colleagues in the department. They whispered loudly to each other that their superior was married and worked quietly with extremely disappointed faces. Hiroshi went into his private office, compiled the documents he had just completed in the evening, and discovered a piece of paper with a message stuck to the leather briefcase he often carried with him. The message remembering to return on time with a round heart made the demon fox hold its head and smile crookedly. In a moment of kindness beyond the ordinary by helping Kaoru change her clothes, the fox now becomes the victim of teasing games directed by the chimpanzee rat. The bell signaling the lunch break had just arrived, and the buzz echoed throughout the sales room. Everybody all looked at Hiroshi with regretful eyes when they saw the demon fox pull Kaoru closer, happily introducing the demon rat as his fiancé. Kaoru was overwhelmed, pretended to cleverly remind Hiroshi of intentionally leaving his engagement ring at home, gave him his lunch box, and pretended to be angry and left. The clothes as an apology gift did not calm Kaoru's anger. Looking at the gift he had spent so much time choosing folded up and resting in the closet, the fox could only sigh. He carefully chose a beautiful outfit and tried it on. When Kaoru had just left the bathroom, Hiroshi had finished changing his clothes and happily announced as if seeking approval, "I have an important meeting tomorrow. How do you like this set?" Kaoru just glanced at it, covered her mouth, ran straight to the bathroom, and vomited violently. Hiroshi hurriedly chased after him and froze at the sight of the floor covered in fresh blood. The demon fox helped the rat out of the dirty place, slowly arguing to expose her lover's identity. "Your body cannot absorb human blood, which means you are only in the guise of a demon. Besides this, how many secrets do you keep from me?"